Right, let's do a clap for sync. Woohoo! How does a typical week look like in your lives?
Oh gosh, it doesn't really.
No, facts.
Yeah.
Typical is not really the right word.
No, yeah, it's always a different day. It's always going somewhere new, traveling somewhere, doing something, new people, different clients. Some weeks are full of meetings. Some weeks are filled with me at my desk, editing and not seeing daylight. And then some weeks I'm filming constantly and I don't look at a computer, don't look at my phone.
What's this last week look like?
This last week was actually a mixture.
Nice.
But very little sleep. How about you?
Typical week, I'm in this lovely new office. I am doing emails. I'm reading a lot of contracts. I am negotiating fees. And sometimes I go on brand shoots, events, lots of meetings. But this week, I think this week's been quite chill, which is nice because it's nice to catch up on like things when you've been out and about. I think the week before that was quite busy, so it's a very big mix. But I'm happy when it's come.
What would you say is the most challenging thing about your careers, your creative roles?
Gosh. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
So I can think about mine.
I think for me, how do I word this? I think the most challenging thing is so I manage creators, so I have to talk to a lot of brands, talk to a lot of agencies. And I think for me the most challenging thing is when specifically like big brands or big agencies forget that creators aren't robots, and I have to try and advocate a lot and, let them know that certain deadlines are too tight, or for example they'll send feedback back on Friday 5 p.m. and be we want it over by Monday 9 a.m. I'm like, do they not get a weekend too? That kind of thing. So I think for me there's a lot of advocating, a lot of reminding people that these guys aren't factories that I manage, and whilst they produce a lot of work, we also want to make sure that they're treated as human too. So yeah, I think I've been doing a lot of that lately, a lot of firefighting, and I don't mind doing it because I love my talent. I think they're great. So I think, yeah, it's rewarding, but it is tough. It is tough. How about you, Ray?
Most challenging thing, I guess, is doing a lot of that similar stuff, but on behalf of myself. That's one thing. But to be different, to make a different answer, I would say probably for me specifically, I really struggle to find. Like, it's a constant juggling act. I don't think there's a right answer to this balance of, like for me, what I do, it's, without sounding too pretentious, hopefully, it's my craft, it's my art, it's how I express myself. I really can't physically picture myself doing anything else. So, yeah, it doesn't really feel like a job a lot of the time. So being able to balance the business side of things, managing clients, pitching for new work, just managing the business and keeping it sustainable, whilst also fulfilling the creative side. It's just a constant, extremely stressful juggling act. And I've been in the game for almost 13 years now, and I've not.
13 years is a long time.
Yeah, but I've not figured it out yet, and I don't think I will.
I don't think we ever will, though. I think that's why, I don't know where I found it. I saw it. I think it was on TikTok, but it said that work-life balance is more like a balancing act, where it's like an active thing that you have to do rather than finding the perfect balance. Because if you lean too much one way, then if you work too much, then of course you'll need to go on holiday and rest, and you need to walk the other way and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think I've accepted that there's no work-life perfect balance, but there is balancing.
Yeah, and I guess just due to the nature with how I approach my creative work, my work is a large part of my life, and I don't draw. It's hard to draw that line. So yeah. Especially
if you do it for enjoyment as well. I can imagine it's difficult to not bring your work home with you.
Yeah.
On the topic of work-life balance, how do you find that for yourselves? Because, like you said, like balancing like having a career in film and like something creative where it's like also your business. How do you find that? And I guess for yourself, balancing shift work with Make the Jump. How's that been for you guys?
Yeah. I think it's not easy, but I think it's very rewarding. So I think I started Make the Jump because I wanted to have something that I could pour into and that I'm excited about. So after this, I'll probably go home and like start on the next round of applications, that kind of thing. But it's something that I'm excited to do. And I feel like in terms of work-life balance, I try not to take on things that I know I'm not going to look forward to or enjoy. So things like planning things in advance. So sports day, sign up, please. Thank you. So like things like doing stuff with my friends, I try to plan it so I have stuff to look forward to. Because I remember there was a point where when I was working and I was just starting out in my job that I was new to London. I didn't really know many people. I only really knew like my partner and then the people I work with, which is still great, but I think like it got me into the routine of doing just a lot of work. Whereas now I've got like a really nice community and I've really, prioritized having things to look forward to so that it's not just a mundane cycle, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think planning to have fun and enjoyment is really important for me. Otherwise, you're just stuck in it, which is rubbish.
Yeah. No, I echo that. I think for me, there's a few number of, I don't want to say rules, but guidelines that I try to follow. I say guidelines are not rules because quite a lot of the time I don't follow them. But simple things like planning a time to clock off, something which I regularly don't follow, but
Same,
I used to be horrendous at it. I used to wake up, just constantly be on it, be working, grinding, replying to emails, editing something, shooting something, all day, every day, and I get really burnt out. Now, I try to dedicate, like for example, on days where it is flexible, I will try to wake up early on in the day, get my hour of exercise in or so, and then work, and I try to chime off around 7 p.m. No later than 7 p.m. I will be checking or replying to my emails, but very regularly I do still check. But it's gotten a lot better because before I used to be up till 1 in the morning.
Really?
Like literally, yeah, just replying to emails, one last email, send it, go to bed, wake up, it's full of typos, because I've been working since the morning.
That's why I don't respond to emails until I've left my house now.
What do you enjoy the most about what you do? Nothing. I
enjoy a lot of things. I'm spoilt for choice. I think for me, it's when I help someone achieve something that they have been really wanting to do. So one of my talent that I manage, he released a book, and a lot of that was one of my team members doing, who's in charge of books, but I helped with the PR kind of side of it, so things like podcast appearances, PR news stuff with his book. So I think that's nice, like just to help people's dreams come true, I think, in the cheesiest sense.
I guess for me, what is it for me? Because sometimes I think doing something creative or artistic, it can really easily become something that's, you kind of feel like you're stuck in your own little bubble, and it's hard to describe the way your mind is working with words. But when you've produced something, especially for a client, and the client looks at it and they get it and they kind of admire your vision, and just that like affirmation at the end, I guess, is very rewarding.
How about you, Nick?
What do I love the most about what I do?
Yeah,
That's a good question. What do I love?
join in the conversation.
I'm spoiled for choice as well, actually. That's a good question. I'm not just saying this because I'm with you guys, but one of the things that I enjoy the most is like the interesting people I get to meet because of this creative path. It's just, you just meet some characters, as I'm sure you will do as well, and it's really like expanded my kind of perspective on a lot of things, on like whether it be like politically, artistically, because 10 years ago, or maybe longer than 10 years ago, though I loved that friendship group back in the day, I wasn't around that many creative people, but then it was only until I decided to be a quote-unquote serious professional creative, that's when I started meeting people that had similar interests and, like, I guess, values to me, but they still thought a different way that kind of, like, educated me in certain ways, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's the nice part about it, because then you meet people who are similar in some sense, like you're in the same creative industries, but you have different reasons for being there or here, or different reasons, or, you know, different art forms, that kind of thing. Like, I think at LCC the other day, I met someone that, like, made toys, and I was like, I've never met a toy maker in my life.
Yeah.
Shout out PJ. So
He makes toys.
yeah, like those little,
yeah.
like, figurine things.
Oh.
But I thought that was sick, because I was like, that's someone I probably would never have met before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out Occasians and Lit Creative Crew.
Come on, man. Hey, gang. What I've come to realize as well with meeting more and more creatives is that it's interesting to find out how multifaceted everyone is. Like, you know, for example, Ray, you're a martial artist as well as a filmmaker. And Sydney, I don't think you talk much about this as yourself. You're also multifaceted as well, man. Got a background in dance and that.
Yeah, I do.
Come on, man.
That's the move.
Yeah, I think that was my first creative outlet when I was younger. I actually started, my mum put me in dance classes because I was ridiculously shy. So, which is very unlike me. Like, I think if people meet me now, they'd be like, how are you shy? But even when I was in primary school, you know, when it was like your birthday and you stand up and everyone sings happy birthday to you, I didn't understand the concept of birthdays then. So I thought, oh, if I was born on the 4th of December, when I turned 4, that was the first time I consciously remembered my birthday. That means next year my birthday will be on the 5th of December when I turn 5. And and then when I turn 6, it will be on the 6th of December.
That's pretty off.
Yeah, it's pretty off.
Yeah.
But the logic was there for me when I was 4. It's not bad for a 4-year-old. But so I think I stood up one time when it was my birthday in primary school on the wrong day, and the teacher was like, Sydney, I'm so sorry, it's not your birthday today. And I think, like, I had to awkwardly sit down in front of the school, and I got up. And I think from then I was, like, quite shy. So then my mum was like, oh, we put you in performing arts. So I started off in ballet. Didn't stick to that because I just kept crying, which was awful. But then I went into musical theatre, which was nice. So I think that was musical theatre from 6 till, like, 10. Quite a few years. Which was really nice. So I got to perform in, like, different theatres around London with my company. And then for some reason I left. I don't remember why, but that was fun. I went into artistic swimming, which was very competitive. So I used to train like 20 hours a week, which is also why I'm not a morning person. So I used to wake up at 6 a.m. and then have to swim before school, then go to school. And then evening as well, the same day, I'd probably have to do like 4 hours of training in the pool, which was all just long. But I think for me, that's where I kind of struggled between being good at something and then enjoying it, because I was good at it, but I didn't enjoy it. So I felt like it was not good for me to quit. But then I thought if I didn't quit, then I wouldn't have got back into dancing. So I did synchronized swimming for like, I'm going to say a handful of years because I don't remember. I did that at national level, and that was good because it taught me like a lot of discipline. And then I got into dance again. And I just did that for a few years because I enjoyed it. And then I joined a team, a competitive team, and we competed like around England and the UK, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Which was nice. So, yeah, I think it was nice because I got to travel as well. So I think for me, it also showed that if you put in work for something, then you'll get rewards out of it. So we won a few national titles, and because of that, we got to represent England at like World Championships and European Championships. And because of that, then I got to travel doing something that I really enjoyed, which wasn't really a concept to me. There wasn't much money in it at all. But for me, I think for like someone who didn't really know that I could even win medals or trophies or that kind of stuff, it was really rewarding. So I kind of take that kind of, I don't know what the word is, work ethic, is that right?
Yeah.
When I do stuff now. So when I'm like rubbish at something, I hate being bad at stuff, which is a really bad trait of mine, but I hate being bad at stuff. So I'm trying to unlearn that. And, you know, everyone starts from somewhere. So yeah, that is a quick rundown of my athletic history.
Yeah. No, I love that. Because I feel like that kind of was the foundation, would you say, to how you work now with like the work ethic you have and like, you know,
Yeah.
being resilient and just working hard essentially.
Yeah, I think for me it was good to kind of see like physical rewards and stuff, and I think I don't know who told. I think my mum told me when I was younger that you never really regret hard work. Like you might not win, but you don't really regret the hours that you put into doing stuff. So I think even if I get like frustrated at work or something doesn't go to plan, like at least I know I did my best.
Yeah.
So then people can't really take that away from me.
Yeah.
Ray, what was your childhood interest, hobbies like?
Ah, gosh. So I was also a very shy kid. I was almost mute, like by choice. But I really struggled. Just like my uncles and aunties would come over, and my dad or mum would have to be like, say hello, and I just like stare at them. Like I could barely say anything. So I was a really shy kid. But I really liked movies. I loved films. Loved films.
What was your favourite film?
Oh, didn't have one.
Films even.
As a kid, I used to watch a lot of Hong Kong cinema, like any other typical child growing up in the southwest of the UK. But yeah.
Where did you grow up again?
Salisbury in Wiltshire.
Oh yeah. Oh, Wiltshire.
Yeah, big up
Oh,
Wiltshire.
shout out Wiltshire.
There we go.
That's so funny.
We're both from Wiltshire.
Yeah, Swindon's in Wiltshire.
Yeah.
Shout out Swindon.
We're like the two major, well, they're called cities, but they're large towns.
Are they?
They're not cities.
I just call it a big area.
It's yeah. But yeah, we're both from Wiltshire, basically.
Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, put Wiltshire on the map.
There we go.
Shout out the Wiltshire massive.
But yeah, as a kid, I loved films. I loved a lot of Jackie Chan films, Bruce Lee, Jet Li. I used to love, just loads of things. I remember Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, and I loved games as well. I grew up with a lot of games. I was just a nerd. I was just a big old nerd.
I love that.
How old were you when you started like having the interest in films and games and I guess this type of media, let's call it?
Early, like 4.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What was your favourite stuff at 4? Because mine was this Shrek Xbox game that I had.
Which one was that? The one
I
based
don't
on
know, but it was like some sort of Street Fighter vibe.
Oh, I remember that one. That's
it
called.
wasn't Street Fighter. It was just Shrek characters.
That's called
They
Shrek.
can fight each other.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but I had it on DS. It was called like
so
Shrek.
sick.
Shrek Beats or something. So I can't remember. There's something. No, I loved. In terms of games, I loved Pokemon and Mario. They were up there. I was a Nintendo boy.
Oh, you're a real gamer then, Nintendo. Yeah.
And then when I was a bit older, Halo was a big thing. A guy I met through Halo when I was 14, I'm going to be best man at his wedding in a few days, which is a bit wild.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to. Well, it's kind of weird that I'm going to mention that in my speech, actually. Now that I think about it, that's really weird.
No, that's really wholesome.
Yeah, it is wholesome, but...
I actually specifically saw
also
on
in a weird
TikTok
way.
today a video of 2 gamer friends that I've never met before meeting for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, that's such a coincidence.
Wow. Well, yeah, we
really
became
cute.
friends when we were 14, used to talk a lot, and we kind of lost touch. And then randomly over lockdown, years later, we started talking again, and then we became close again. And yeah, now I'm his best man.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
You know what I just clocked, actually? We're all like community organisers. Have you found that responsibility of balancing your normal working life, your personal lives, and on top of that, got a community to look out for?
I run a creative collective called Occasians, and our aim is to champion creative Asians within the creative industry. And I mostly organise our networking events and our workshop events and everything we do by myself. Every now and again, I have wonderful collaborators like Sydney. Personally, I treat the responsibility of running it very selfishly because I go through we go through hiatuses where we don't throw any events purely down to my schedule. It's very much like if I have the time for it, I'll organise a bunch of events. If I don't, I'm sorry, there won't be any.
Same for us, to be fair.
But no, it's genuinely. I really think it has room to grow if I did have the time to bring more people in and managed it more. Yeah, like it's been going really well. We've partnered with quite a few organisations and companies like Universal Music, Make the Jump, Whoop Whoop, as well as other companies which I almost just said that I shouldn't say as of yet because it's not out yet.
Yes.
But yeah.
But keep an eye out, everyone.
Yeah, I'm. It's still relatively surreal thinking that this is all just a thing that I run for free. It's not a business currently.
I love Occasions, man. I met my best friends at Occasions.
Aw.
And who did I went to Occasions accidentally because
You just walked in and were like,
I did.
What? There's Asian people.
Yeah. No, well, someone told me. And
In
I was
my
like,
industries?
no, someone told me, and I actually was like, "This is too good to be true. Let me go see if this is like you're just chatting shit." So I met one of my friends randomly, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to this networking thing just for Asian people." I said, "What?" Because I'm not from London, so I feel like the only Asian people that I knew were like my cousins, which is Reading is a small place. So I was like, oh, okay, let me go see. And then I went to Occasians, and it was when we had it on the boat, I think in like 2023.
Yeah.
2023.
Big up the Thames stock
Yeah.
in Vauxhall.
Yeah,
Is that pronounce it Thames's?
Yeah, because it's on the Thames.
Thames's lock. I saw the word. I just.
Thamesis. Is that what you
I
thought?
said Tamesis in my head.
Yeah, there we go, man.
You make it sound really Filipino.
Tamesis.
Thamesis.
But yeah, no, I went, and then I was introduced to Gian, who is one of my closest friends, which is great. And then, yeah, and then I
Beautiful.
went to more Occasions events, and I was too shy to say hi to you, Ray. Did you know that?
No.
I
Why?
was, because you're Mr. Occasions, isn't it?
It's not my real name.
Oh,
Mr. Roberts.
well, you're Mr. Ray Roberts, so I was shy to say hi to you.
Well,
And then I did eventually.
well, I'm
Now
glad
we're
you did.
besties.
And now we're on your rooftop. There we go.
Cute.
So tell me about Make the Jump.
Make the Jump is a mentoring program. So we match people of Asian heritage.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Just allergic to people talking about Asians. But go on.
So our mentoring program, we match people of Asian heritage who are either on mentee level, we class mentee level as someone who's making a career change, so where creative industry is new to them, or someone who is like just starting out in their creative journey. It doesn't, or if you just kind of want mentorship and you want to go into something else, you can apply to be a mentee. And we match them up with industry mentors. So how I classify industry mentors is minimum 2 years of experience in your like professional field. And I didn't want to do it by like ranks, because you know some people are, oh, you have to be a senior level, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like that, again, that's very like company dependent. So I said 2
Yeah.
years experience. And you
Especially
have
in the
to
creative field, it's like,
Exactly.
So how do you rank that?
and it's not like the same ranking across different organizations, or like, or if you're a freelancer, you don't really say I'm a senior freelancer. Do you know what I mean? So I matched them up together through a very lengthy, detailed application process. And for 6 weeks, they go on a mentoring program. So they do 1 hour of contact a week. And then throughout that time as well, mentees also get free workshops with industry mentors. So we've had workshops from Canon Films, who have taught our mentees on why it's important to kind of make sure that you can separate personal life and business life when you're working with your best friend as a business partner, that kind of thing, how you can make business decisions together, what like day-to-days of running a business, that kind of stuff. We've had workshops with lawyers on how to protect your creative work. I ran one on personal branding. We also had like networking sessions, and then we had a big celebration at the end. So yeah, that's over a course of 6 weeks, and we've got time for the mentees and mentors and like the whole cohort to get to know each other, because I think I started it because I felt a bit frustrated being the only Asian person in like the kind of corporate creative space that I personally knew of. And I say that because there are other people there. Unfortunately, I didn't know them at the time. And when I put applications out, I actually got to know a lot more people in the same industry as me, but I didn't know of them. So that was really cool. A lot of people in the advertising space, so people that work with brands like Prada and Tesco and Jimmy Choo, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I basically started it so that people could feel a bit less lonely and also have actionable guidance. I feel like anyone can tell you to chase your dreams, but it's more valuable to have someone to help you put the steps in place. And I think that's why I started Make the Jump, to give people that structure. I also work in a school as well, so I was very much into lesson planning and structure and timetables. So it's
amazing. Well,
marriage of both worlds.
Well, big ups to you, because the amount of work you put in, and I feel like I've only seen a glimpse from collaborating with Make the Jump, but it's really, really commendable, honestly. So big ups to you, man.
Thank you, mate. Tell us about LCC.
Well, before I tell you about LCC, I was going to pull up with a question. You kind of already touched on this, but I don't know if you'd want to elaborate. What were your motivations to start your mentorship program and Occasians?
Well, with Occasians, I remember coming out of lockdown, or even during lockdown, there were so many Asian spaces appearing. Like, a lot of it was online because we were in lockdown. But yeah, so much discussion, a lot of it revolving around the Stop Asian Hate movement. Like, a lot of Asians were coming together and having discussions and opening spaces due to the rise in hate crime towards Asians in the Western world. And I just started to meet a lot of people who were also Asian, and we were having conversations about what it was like growing up here, and it was a lot of conversations that I was having for the first time in my life that I didn't realize were similar like root causes for like anxiety that I've had, or like self-doubt, or just not feeling like growing up Asian here, and also just growing up biracial as well, I guess, just not feeling Asian enough, not feeling British enough, and this kind of anxiety that a lot of people can, not just biracial people, but a lot of people can relate to. But yeah, like for the first time in my life, I didn't have this conversation until I was around 26 years of age. And then I slowly started to see community starting coming out of it, and like initiatives happening. I remember coming out of lockdown, and I was like seeing like Asian networking events popping up for like social reasons or for business reasons. And I was also meeting for the first time other Asians in the creative industries, specifically like in the industries I work in, more like film and content creation. And it was just kind of nuts to me, because I was just like, wow, this was, in as diverse as this city is, the creative industry here is very, very white dominated. And it was wild to just see other people doing similar jobs to what I do. And then I just thought naturally, so like there's probably going to be like, events or hubs and platforms for Asian creatives cropping up anytime soon. And I waited a while, maybe 2 years, and there just wasn't any. So I just thought, like, what do I actually need to run an event? Not really a lot. Like I do have quite a bit of a network around me. I can get a venue. I can hire a room in a pub for free. So that's what I did. I just hired a room in a pub that's on a boat. That just happened to be on a boat. Shout out Thames's Docks. And I didn't know what to expect. I barely put any time into promoting the event. I set up a new Instagram account. People just started sharing it like mad. A lot of people from my network, a lot of people from their network, and it just kept going like a wildfire that I barely pushed out. And our first event had almost 200 people turn up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was just like crazy. And then a lot of people were like so happy with the event, even though nothing was organised. We didn't organise anything. It was just we have hired a room in a pub, and then people just loved it.
But that's beautiful though, because
Yeah.
you're in a room with people that look like you, that have the same life experiences as you, that are also in the same, like have the same interests as you.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's been the beautiful thing about Occasions. Even when the organisation for an event is literally me just sharing out a story about it a few times, there's always been from the get-go such a strong community to help push it out to their network, and people just, I think it's a testament to how hungry Asian creatives are to connect with their fellow creatives, because for a lot of reasons. I think just because they want to feel represented, they also just want that kind of validation that the stereotypical Asian parent wasn't correct, that we don't have to be doctors and lawyers, we can also be filmmakers, artists, designers, whatever.
That's beautiful. I think that's similar to me though. I think I was waiting. I came up subconsciously with the idea when I was on my first ever panel, and my first panel was for East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month. I'll be so real, I didn't even know that was a month until I got invited to be on the panel. And they were like, oh,
Well, it's not been a month for a while.
Yeah.
2020 is when it was coined.
Ah, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
So 2023.
By Be Seen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love that. So yeah, it was East and Southeast Asian Heritage Month. I was on my first panel with my friends Gian and Paolo. And I think and it was a panel about Asian representation across creative industries for a global media agency. So the people in the audience would come to the panel to like basically learn more about how they can accurately represent Asian creatives across the kind of adverts and the work they do. And then I answered a question, and basically they were asking, well, how can we do that more accurately? And my answer was, well, you need to hire more Asian people behind the scenes so that the stories are accurate. And then they said, well, how can we get more Asian people behind the scenes? And I think I even said, I really wish that, there were more initiatives specifically to kind of bring us in to creative spaces to kind of get an understanding of what, specifically what marketing is like. And marketing is so broad. So you can have like paid media, you can have digital, you can have out of home. Like marketing in general is so broad, and then that's just only one creative industry. Then you've got film, and then you've got photography, and then you've got all these other things. So when I launched Make the Jump, I actually launched it with a soundbite of me on the panel saying, I wish there was initiatives like this. And I think I was sitting around like you for ages, like, where the hell are these flipping initiatives? And then I thought, why don't I just start one? And I had a really great network of friends. I had enough contacts. I knew how to organise like lesson plans. I knew how to work a calendar. And it was very bootstrapped. I think the only thing I really paid for was a website. I think Make the Jump was born kind of out of a annoyance, I guess, for lack of representation. And I wanted to build a structure around that.
Your lot's origin stories are very wholesome. Do you want to know how Lit Creative Crew started?
Sex and drugs.
Precisely. So it originally started as like a group chat of 4 videographers and photographers. I think it was in 2023. Maynard just had the idea to open it up to the public. I was like, why do we make a community and just make it on public?
Was the name
put it on
there
Discord.
from the start?
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Well, actually, I'll tell you about the slight evolution. So it was Lit Creatives Crew at the start.
What made you drop the S?
Maynard didn't like the fact that on Instagram we look like Lit Creative Screw. I personally didn't mind.
No, I agree with May.
I never knew that.
I feel like
That's
I agree.
mad.
I didn't even think about it as well.
Creative Screw.
Yeah.
Lit Creative Crew. It's a little bit easier on the tongue as well.
It does sound cool, to be fair. Lit Creative Crew as opposed to Lit Creatives Crew.
Yeah. Rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, so fair enough. Well played, Maynard. Well played. And then from there, we just had a couple of socials and stuff and made it, I guess, an active group chat where people can kind of like ask for advice, or people, as you guys often see, put like jobs in there if there's jobs, or like, where other communities can plug their stuff too. And I like to think it's just become some wholesome creative community as well.
How
There
did
we
you
go.
two meet? I don't think I know that origin story.
Oh, I know where I first met you.
It was a Cine Files event.
It was.
This was it called Cine Files? It was, yeah, Cine Files. Yeah, it was it was a Filipino film screening event.
yeah.
And,
that? Was it Gabby?
Gabby.
And was it tomorrow? Or was it just Gabby?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shout out Gabby, I love
think it was Gabby.
Yeah.
Tomorrow was hosting.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
Shout out them two.
Filipino creatives. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
I showed my film that was about a hedgehog.
Yes. You
Yeah.
did.
What?
That was lit.
A hedgehog,
Yeah,
like the animal.
yeah.
What was it about?
About a hedgehog.
Yeah, his life? Like, was he a
It's
character?
about friendship.
That's so cute. I
You
need
should
to
watch
watch
it.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. No CGI. It was a real hedgehog.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you pay him?
Yeah.
Good.
Give him strawberries.
No.
First time you met me
Was there?
was me showing a film about a hedgehog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I first met you.
You were like, this is my guy.
This is my friend right here.
This is gonna
These are my
be.
peoples.
This guy is gonna be my best friend.
These are my peoples, man.
We didn't really talk.
No, we didn't really.
No, I think we exchanged words.
Hellos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
I was a bit shy that day, to be fair.
I recall thinking, this is an intimidating road man.
No. You didn't feel that.
No, only a little bit.
That's
I
only a little
probably
bit.
thought this guy's a cool creative.
Nah, you didn't think that. You probably thought this guy's a waste man. I think that whole evening, yeah, I had a trench coat on, a beanie, and my hood up. That was also how I dressed technically when I first saw you.
Yeah. That's probably why I didn't remember you.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't remember
You like
me.
he was being incognito.
He was just in the shadows.
He wasn't. He was
Yeah.
at the front of the stage. He
No,
was at one of my work events.
I was at the back first because I came in late, and then I saw Paolo at the front and he had a spare seat next to him. Because I sat next to Paolo, and I think that's when the hood came down.
But I found him in the other day because I did a wrap-up reel of the event, and I was like, it's really bothering me that I don't remember meeting Nick at this event.
Wow.
So then I stopped, I froze the reel, I was like, I found Nick! I found him! But yeah, it was one of my work events for Shift. We did a event about like how to, as creatives, how you should read contracts, that kind of thing. And then we had a panel with like a few different agencies and platforms.
That was a very insightful event.
It was a good event, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to do
took
a
bare
round two.
notes. And you guys met at Occasions.
Yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
even though you were too shy to say hi to
I
the
said-
legend,
yeah.
Mr. Occasions, Mr.
I said
Mr.
hi
Ray
to you at the
Roberts.
end. But I also was like, you look a bit busy. Let me just let you do your thing.
I do vaguely remember you saying hello.
Yeah, because I was
the
chatting to
first
RJ.
time. But I knew of you before.
Oh.
Jeez,
Didn't I?
Gang.
No, you didn't follow me back.
Ooh,
I do now.
When did I meet you? At Occasions, actually, yeah. I met Nick at Occasions.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Well, that's when you met me, but I met you at your first event.
I'm so sorry.
That's my own fault. I was too shy.
So come to my personal branding workshop on how to make yourself more memorable. But yeah, the first time I properly met Nick was at Occasions again, at your first panel event, where you
Oh,
had
mad, yeah.
May, Nabila, Keisha,
And Becky.
and Becky.
Yeah,
It was-
yeah.
Wow, my memory is sick.
Kind
There we
of.
go.
We didn't remember you in the first event.
That's your fault.
That's true.
That's
yeah.
actually your own fault.
What advice would you give your younger selves?
My younger self. Just don't care what people think as much. Stop being a people pleaser. Good friends or good community don't make you feel like you owe them something. They're just good friends for the sake of it. And I think I am very, very fortunate now to have a really great group of friends, or village I like to say, which is lovely. Because that can stress people out, trying to be a people pleaser.
It's true.
Yeah,
I hear
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
You
hear
can't
that.
please everyone, no matter how hard you try.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I tell myself firstly to shut the fuck up and just do it. just do this. Just follow hard and do. Stop making excuses. Yeah, you're not going to be great first time round, but you got to start. Just so shut the fuck up and just do something. You piece. Of shit. That's what I would say.
To your younger
10-year-old
selves.
Ray.
No, even younger. Start 'em young.
Wow.
I put off so much stuff when I was younger, just because I knew, I thought I wasn't capable of creating great stuff. So I just, I made too many excuses. The other thing I would tell myself, and this is a concept that I've spoken to you quite a few times, just about how I think once I started getting stuff going in my life, I really focused on networking. You got to network everything you do. You got to start considering who you're talking to, blah 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 blah. But and it is useful, but at the same time, you shouldn't put too much energy into it. It's much better to focus more energy into like growing your current network. Like, are there people in your network who you believe in? Great, stick with them, help each other grow, instead of just expanding. Yeah.
On networking, I also think it's really important not to just be a taker. I feel like a lot of, unintentionally, a lot of people go into networking with the mindset of like, what can this person do for me? But then I think if you're, like you said, trying to nurture those relationships, it is a two-way street. So also seeing what you can do for other people.
Yeah.
And then I think you also, based on that, you kind of know who within your network is someone that you find valuable. Or like, it's nice to actually just have a friend that you can rant to about your struggles and know they're not going to be like, weird about it. But yeah.
No,
What would you tell your younger self?
I was hoping you wouldn't flip the question on me.
Oh, sorry.
I got to think about that. Hold that.
You're good at that.
Without copying you guys. I was gonna copy more of Ray's answer, really, which is
Sweet shit.
Shut the f up.
essentially.
Yeah.
Just
Get on with
just
it.
do it, man.
Lazy little boy.
But I think maybe
though.
maybe to kind of like tweak it slightly is just to actually be confident in doing it. I think I made a lot of excuses to not actually start. Like I remember, I actually had this thought about this the other day. Now I think about it, where when I was like 16, 17, and I had these kind of creative ideas that I wanted to do, I thought I was too young to start, which I think is a bit of a silly thought process. I don't know why I thought that.
How old were you when you thought that?
Like 15, 16. And I wanted to like do more videos. And I kind of dabbled in it.
Yeah,
I did dabble in it, but I was like, I'll go harder when I'm older. And now I'm older, I'm like, now I'm feeling a bit too old to do certain things. But
I hate that. I'm the same.
you know what I mean? And now I'm like, you know what? I wish when I was younger I just done it, because it's fine. Like, if anything, it's better to get the reps in as soon as you can.
I like that you say that, creative reps. I think I've seen you say that in a few videos.
Yeah, I say it a lot. And it's something I believe in. Like, just the more you do something, the better you get at it. And I feel like if I started younger, then I would have got more reps in. Then we would have been better by now. But here we are. Can't complain with some legends right now. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate your time on this.
Let's bring it in.
Filipino British legends. We out here, man.
There we go.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Nick.
Can I take a Polaroid of you guys?
Yeah. What are you?
There we go.
Well, we can do a selfie. 3, 2, 1. Actually, Nick, can you do one from... So you press that one, I think. Yeah.
What? That's the selfie button.
No, so that's the picture, but you have to check we're all in here.
3, 2, 1.
If I'm not in this, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, look at that.
3, 2, 1. That's such
a
satisfying.
Oh,
I am.
It was an ambitious pick.
It's just basically Nick.
I'm quite happy with my appearance.
Oh, of course you are. Your whole head's in it.
3, 2, 1.